There's nothing quite like the feeling you get being inside a hunting cabin. The memories found on the walls from past hunts tell their own tales of the rugged western landscapes that these majestic animals call home. And when you think about where you hunt wild turkeys, you might not assume that the same habitat that hosts abundant populations of elk and mule deer would also be home to the wild turkey. Thanks to the conservation work spearheaded by hunters, Eastern Oregon now boasts flourishing populations of wild turkeys.
The ranch manager just gave us a tour around, put a bunch of spots that we're going to spend the next couple days doing some stands on. I put all the data into my Onyx Hunt app so we can go back and just do a DIY kind of just explore this beautiful ranch in Eastern Oregon. The turkeys here are going to be kind of a mix between Rios and Merriams. There might be some Merriams, there might just be some Rios, and there might be some combos. So it'll be interesting to see what birds are on the ground. There was a turkey strutting back behind us here, and they kind of moved off into the timber, but it's still really early in the morning, so we're going to go set up the blind and set the decoys out and see if I can't call in one of those toms that were strutting around. So we're both bow hunting, so it's going to be fun.
The transplanting of wild turkeys in Oregon has been funded in part through statewide hunting license and tag sales. These now thriving populations of wild turkeys are part of a greater sustainable wildlife management plan that includes hunting. This gives hunters like us an opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors in pursuit of these incredible game birds.
There's turkeys off to our right in these aspens. We saw a tom out here strutting when we came in. We did spook one hen walking in, but that's kind of, we were a little late getting here. We had to take a tour and figure out what we were doing. So we've got time. If this set doesn't work, we'll move on to the next. But I think if we give these birds some time to settle in, it'll be fine. This is Yogi's first turkey hunt ever. So we're pretty excited.
These expansive western mountains that are rich with timber have multiple year-round creeks that host ideal habitat for the wild turkey to feed and flourish. It also means that we need to cover many mountain miles in search of a hot strutting zone. Bow hunting for turkeys takes running and gunning to a whole new level of difficulty. Trying to get in the zone without getting busted is key to a successful set.
On to the next.
At some point, you kind of start to feel more like a pack mule loaded down with ground blinds, gear, and decoys. But all of it is necessary to fool the keen eye of the wild turkey when drawing a bow.
We came through here this morning and we saw a bunch of turkeys go up on this steep hillside behind us. When we first set up, we had a hen start to come in, but she kind of turned around and ran off. It has been quiet tonight. It's not really what we had hoped for. It's still pretty early. I think it's only 6, so we have quite a bit of time. And the hope with this spot is that the turkeys would move through here like they did this morning, hopefully going back to their roosting tree. We might be able to intersect them on the way back, but that's not happening so far. So just patience is the name of the game right now, which I don't really have. So, I'm trying.
It's about 55 yards. There's a couple birds out there. They're just outside the range. And they're not really wanting to come in. Action here tonight. were just not within reach. They were just outside of 45 yards all the time, so I decided to hold off for tonight.
Despite flourishing populations of wild turkeys, hunting late into the month of May has proven to be a challenge getting the older toms to respond. The rut is winding down, but the young birds are still strutting and eager to put on an entertaining show. We know that our patience and perseverance will eventually pay off. All it takes is being in the right place at the right time.
We just saw a pretty big tom with a couple of hens just over on this ridge moving this way. So we've tried to set up the blind as fast as we can and kind of get it set up. Gonna do a little calling. If he's gonna come in, it'll probably happen fast. If not, then we'll kind of be in maybe for a long night. So hopefully it's fast and not long. Roasted these birds last night, and it sounds like they just hit the ground. So I'm gonna start doing some turkey calls, yelps, and see if I can't get them to come in.
Having discovered a roosting area, we finally managed to be in the right place long before the birds hit the ground and in the perfect position to call in a mature tom.
He just passed the blind. He was in range, but I didn't want to take that shot. I wanted to come to the decoy. I can still hear him drumming back behind me.
Oh, here's my arrow. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. My broadhead worked perfect all the way through. There's blood on this arrow. That is good news. The bird took off, so let's go and try to find the turkey. Look at this trail of feathers. It's like the yellow brick road. Oh, look it. This one's all bloody. That's a good sign. I'm gonna knock another arrow just in case. Here. They were roosted up here on this hillside. That's him right there. That's him right there. We got him. There he is. Beautiful bird.
It's a big bird.
Big body for sure.
Uh-huh.
This is a Rio. Beautiful Rio. This is Eastern Oregon mountain turkey hunting at its finest. This is elk country, literally. And last night we roosted these birds, got them to gobble off the roost. We slipped in this morning about an hour before daylight, got the blind set up, the decoys laid out, and as soon as we heard these toms hit the ground, they were gobbling like crazy. There was hens, there was a ton of turkeys roosted right here. As soon as they landed, I started doing my turkey call, and I just hit my slate a few times, and wouldn't you know, you could hear this gobbler drumming all the way in. He came by the stand, past us, and I was like, oh man, he just totally avoided our decoys, circled down around the blind, and then came back in, full strut, put on a spectacular show. It was an awesome hunt. I mean, this is exactly what you want for any turkey hunt, and we have scoured these mountains. These birds travel a long ways in this big country, and this hunt played out absolutely perfectly. I could not be more thankful.